signs are pointing to a summer of rage that could see nationwide anti-Trump protests boil over into full-blown violent riots. The deep state, the Democratic Party, establishment Republican insiders, and the mainstream media are all hysterically pushing the notion that Trump is illegitimate, that impeachment proceedings are inevitable, that Trump committed a crime by blocking Comey's FBI investigation, despite the fact that Comey admitted under oath that no FBI investigations have ever been blocked.
A situation where we were told to stop something for a political reason, that would be a very big deal. It's not happened in my experience.
But facts don't matter. Narrative matters. And the narrative is clearly to manufacture a constitutional crisis followed by a coup d'etat. This will radicalize the violent alt-left to engage in massive domestic disorder, emboldened by the belief that they are bravely resisting an actual tyrant.
The left badly wants to remove Donald Trump from office, not with votes in the next presidential election, as you typically see in working democracies, but they want to remove him right now, today. Indeed, the left has grown so impatient, much more than ever, that it is now unable to acknowledge the basic legitimacy of any government act they disagree with. Every executive order is a new opportunity to demand massive resistance to the law itself.
When could the flashpoint take place? The New York Times reports, quote, liberals are planning a series of nationwide protests on July the 2nd known as impeachment marches to increase the pressure. In preparation for this, leftists are attending summer resistance camps, generously bankrolled by the DNC. Is this the day when the Soros-controlled agitators will be activated to cause mayhem?
Now, beneath all of this, which is it's the monster under the bed, it's the threat of violence. At this stage, only the fringes are calling for that, but the rest of us know it's there. We can feel it. Sometimes, especially recently, we can see it. And that is the end or the beginning of it. Violence is what separates politics from war. It's the point where hurt feelings become dead bodies, the point at which countries become ungovernable.
Rally organizers have made it clear they literally think Trump is a dictator and are staging this nationwide event to, quote, get him out now. Another militant leftist group, BAM, claim they're fighting a fascist movement and that, quote, Trump must go by any means necessary. This is what they're going into schools and telling young people.
What is your policy on immigration? Do you believe we should just open it up entirely and let everyone in, just let them walk through?
Yep.
Yeah.
They literally claim, quote, the future existence of humankind is at risk if Trump stays in power. This is how unhinged these lunatics are. They want to, quote, shut down entire cities, to, quote, drive Trump out of power, to overthrow him. They openly denounce, quote, liberal tactics of electoral engagement. This group has previously been discussed by the FBI in the context of alleged links to terrorist organizations. At a rally in Sacramento last year, 10 people were hospitalized with stab wounds as a result of violence initiated by members of BAM. These are the same people who were involved in the Berkeley riots and the riots in airports over the travel ban. Imagine Berkeley, but nationwide in dozens of major cities, all on the same day. Imagine the chaos. Demonstrations are also set to take place in over 90 cities on June the 3rd to protest against Russian interference in the US election, for which there's no evidence whatsoever other than a relentless stream of hysteria. As Tucker Carlson exposed, prominent leftists are also refusing to condemn violence when asked.
Endorsing violence that's the line, and she crossed it.
Right. Well, I don't know if we'd have our current president if that was the line. She has a right to say what she thinks.
Is that a legitimate tactic to smash windows?
That's not an effective tactic.
Is it legitimate, morally legitimate?
That's up to the people who organize it.
So it's okay. There are times when using violence in America.
I've never used violence. We've never advocated violence.
I'm asking you a philosophical question, which you're capable of answering.
I can't answer every question when violence is appropriate or not.
Every time leftists rioted and violently attacked Trump supporters, both before and after the election, the media labeled it a demonstration. By legitimizing destructive chaos as a valid form of protest, the anti-Trump establishment media is legitimizing total anarchy. They're encouraging it. Maxine Waters, the leading voice for the impeachment of Donald Trump,
impeach, 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 impeachment, impeachment, impeachment,
is also legitimizing violent riots. She called the 1992 LA riots an insurrection a rightful demand for justice. More than 50 people killed, over $1 billion in property damage. White people being targeted and murdered by rioters.
Because of his race, Denny was pulled from his truck and smashed in the head with a cinder block until he sustained brain damage. It was a hate crime if there ever was one. It all happened on videotape. A helicopter caught it, and it happened in Maxine Waters' city. But she did not denounce the attack. On the contrary, she all but endorsed the attack.
Here's a situation from South Central. Drivers of automobiles and trucks that enter this area can expect to, oh, look at that. Terrible. And there's no police presence down here. They will not enter the area.
Is it any coincidence that Waters is in the news every single day calling for more insurrection? Is it any coincidence that we see the same violent race baiting being whipped up daily by the mainstream media? Police departments across the country are making large-scale purchases of plated body armor, pepper spray, batons, and smoke grenades. Take Denver. Every single year since 2012, spending on riot gear has increased. Manufacturers of riot control products have also reported a huge surge in demand for water cannons to, quote, handle large crowds and demonstrations. Authorities are clearly preparing for potential disorder. People in major cities like LA think riots are likelier than at any time since the LA riots. Although violent disorder is a speciality of the left, Trump supporters could also take to the streets if they believe a coup is taking place, and the blame lies firmly at the feet of the media and the deep state. They're contriving the fake news narrative that Trump is an illegitimate tyrant. They're emboldening extremist militant groups who have already used violence to shut down cities and free speech events. They've set the wheels in motion for a massive nationwide confrontation, a summer of rage.